Welcome to the July 21st, 2025 meeting of Troy City Council. Please silence your cell phones for the duration of the meeting. Tonight's invocation and pledge is led by Mr. Council Member Whidden. Please stand.
Mr. President, as we gather here today, let us have an open mind for all opinions. Let us listen closely to the wants and needs of our townspeople. We ask for wisdom and guidance in our decision-making so that we better serve the wonderful town we all inhabit. And lastly, we ask for the continuing safety of our police and firefighters. Amen. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can I use that one next week? That would be fine. I'll just pass it around.
We have Rumpke people here? Or the
Roll call.
roll call, I'm sorry. Roll call, please, since most everybody's here. Except me,
Mrs. West,
mentally.
Mrs. Westfall. Here. Mr. Twist.
Here.
Mr. Phillips.
Present.
Mrs. Marshall. Here. Mrs. Snee. Here. Mr. Schilling.
Present.
Mr. Sievert.
Here.
Mr. Whidden.
Here.
Mr. Pierce.
Move to excuse Mr. Pierce.
Second.
Suspended.
Move to excuse Mr. Pierce by Mr. Phillips, second by Mr. Sievert. Mrs. Knight, please call the roll.
Mr. Twist.
Yes.
Mr. Phillips.
Yes.
Mrs. Marshall. Yes. Mrs. Snee. Yes. Mr. Schilling.
Yes.
Mr. Sievert.
Yes.
Mr. Whidden.
Yes.
Mrs. Westfall. Yes. Mr. Pierce is excused.
Thank you. Do we have recipients, or how you want to handle this?
Well, she is not here. We thought she would be here, but I will go ahead and read what she submitted and why she was selected as the Rumpke Recycling Award recipient for this quarter. Lori Barnett from Beekman Drive is the winner of quarter 2. Her response to why do you recycle is recycling is better than throwing it in a landfill. If possible, it becomes something else, and maybe it can be recycled again and again. Pretty cool to do, better for everyone and the environment. She and her husband, Greg, have adult children, and we also have a certificate gift card for them, which we will get to her later. We were looking for her, but she's not here.
If she comes in, we'll recognize her.
Unless she slipped in while I was reading that.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Mrs. Knight, will you please read July 7th meeting minutes, please?
Minutes of Council, July 7, 2025. A public hearing was held on Resolution R32, the tax budget. Committee reports. Buildings and Utilities Committee recommended that the authorization be increased and a contract awarded for the chlorine gas conversion project of the water plant. Committee recommended legislation be prepared authorizing a professional services agreement for the update of the water master plan. Committee recommended legislation be prepared for a 10-year extension to the professional services agreement related to the biosolids management program at the wastewater plant. Community Partnerships Committee recommended that legislation be prepared regarding the Tour de Donut event, which would be an agreement with Cat Stop Running, an agreement with Troy Main Street, and authorizing a change in the door hours on August 23rd. Finance Committee recommended legislation be prepared for a 3-year agreement associated with cybersecurity. Law and Ordinance Committee recommended that legislation be prepared accepting the final plat of Liberty Meadows Subdivision, Section 1, and that legislation be prepared accepting the final plat of Fox Harbor Subdivision, Section 11. Personnel Committee recommended legislation be prepared authorizing a professional services agreement associated with employment-related legal services for 2025. Recreation and Parks Committee recommended legislation be prepared for an agreement related to the design of the Troy Aquatic Park Improvement and Maintenance Project. Committee recommended legislation be prepared authorizing bidding for an ice resurfacing machine. Streets and Sidewalks Committee recommended that legislation be prepared authorizing additional payment to ODOT related to the city's costs for the resurfacing of a portion of West Main Street from Experiment Farm Road to the Western Corporation limit. Committee recommended that legislation be prepared to authorize an amendment to the professional services agreement with LJB regarding adding Prouty Plaza design to the design for the downtown project, downtown streetscape and safety project, which was then discussed. Resolution number R32, 2025, the tax budget, was given first reading and adopted. Resolution number R33, 2025, contract for elements of the chlorine gas conversion project at the water plant, given first reading and adopted. Resolution number R34, 2025, enter into a professional services agreement for the update of the water master plan, first reading and adopted. Resolution number R35, 2025, 10-year extension to the agreement with Agua Sludge related to biosolids management at the wastewater treatment plant, was given first reading and was adopted. Resolution number R36, 2025, an agreement related to software and support services and hardware related to cybersecurity, first reading and adopted. Resolution number R37, 2025, employee counsel for employment-related services during 2025, first reading and adopted. Resolution number R38, 2025, professional services agreement related to the design of aquatic park improvement maintenance project, first reading and adopted. Resolution number R39, 2025, contract for ice resurfacing machine, first reading and adopted. Resolution number R40, 2025, amendment to professional services agreement with LJB Inc. regarding Prouty Plaza design added to project, was given first reading. Resolution number R41, 2025, changing DORA hours on August 23, first reading and adopted. Resolution number R42, 2025, additional payment to ODOT related to a resurfacing project of State Route 41 from Experiment Farm Road to West Corporation limit, first reading and adopted. Ordinance number 018, 2025, final plat, Liberty Meadows subdivision, section 1, was given first reading and adopted. Ordinance number 019, 2025, final plat of Fox Harbor subdivision, was given first reading and adopted. Ordinance number 02025, authorizing the use of public areas related to Donut Jam event, was given first reading and was adopted. Ordinance number 02125, authorizing use of public areas for the 2025 Tour de Donut event, was given first reading and adopted. Following various comments, council adjourned at 8:11 p.m.
Move to accept the minutes as read.
Second.
Motion to accept the minutes by Mr. Twist, second by Mr. Phillips. Please call the roll.
Mr. Phillips?
Yes.
Mrs. Marshall?
Yes.
Mrs. Snee?
Yes.
Mr. Schilling?
Yes.
Mr. Sievert?
Yes.
Mr. Whidden?
Yes.
Mrs. Westphal?
Yes.
Mr. Twist?
Yes.
Minutes are approved.
Thank you. Moving on to committee reports. Tonight we'll start with Parks and Recreation. Mrs. Westphal.
Okay. This committee member and Mrs. Marshall met on July 14th to consider the recommendation of the Board of Park Commissioners that Council consider amending the deed restrictions for the sale of Bruckner Park to the Troy Miami County Public Library based on the request of the library. The history of Bruckner Park and the previous authorization legislation for the sale of Bruckner Park to the library are discussed in the detailed report. The recommendation does not believe it is in the best interest of the city to amend the deed restriction as requested and does not recommend that ordinance number 031-2024 be amended. It is noted that this does not preclude the sale of Bruckner Park to the Troy Miami County Public Library based on the provisions of ordinance number 031-2024.
Anyone have any questions, comments? Thank you very much. We'll go to personnel since an oral report.
Yes, thank you,
Mrs.
Mr. President. I do have an oral report tonight. At the request of Mayor Oda, I move that the City Council approve the reappointment of Mrs. Barbara Reddick, Mr. Barry Van Kirk, Mrs. Mary Davis, Mrs. Peggy Wolke, and Mrs. Lisa Bricker to the City Beautification Committee, and that Council approve the new appointment of Mrs. Kathy Whidden to that committee. The terms for all these members will expire June 30th, 2027.
Second.
Second by Mr. Twist. Motion made by Mrs. Snee. Mrs. Knight, please call the roll.
Mrs. Marshall?
Yes.
Mrs. Snead?
Yes.
Mr. Schilling?
Yes.
Mr. Sievers?
Yes.
Mr. Whidden?
I will vote yes for everyone but my mother. I will abstain on that.
You'll abstain, not vote no.
Yes.
Abstain on that one.
Yeah.
Thanks for disclosing.
Just a second. Okay, Mrs. Westfall?
Yes.
Mr. Twist?
Yes.
Mr. Phillips?
Yes.
Motion is approved.
Thank you. That leaves us streets and sidewalks. Mr. Phillips.
Thank you, sir. This committee met July 14 to provide an opportunity for council to ask questions and receive answers related to the design of Prouty Plaza being included in the downtown streetscape and safety renovation project as provided by resolution number R40/2025. Staff provided a presentation outlining the 3 years of discussion, input, and directions, including 10 public input sessions and design elements. Staff also clarified the various elements of the project. Due to the internet being down, it was not possible to live stream this meeting. However, it was recorded and is available on the city's website, as is the presentation. This is respectfully submitted by Mr. Schilling, Mrs. Westphal, and myself as chair.
All due respect, since Mr. Whidden and Mr. Twist were not able to make that, do you have any questions on presentation or came up since the first time around?
No, I watched the meeting and
I was also able to watch the meeting in full.
Okay. At the meeting, they were asked about the price of the water feature. Did that information get back to everybody?
Well, let me remind everybody that the amendment that's being requested will provide a firmer estimate of the elements that we're talking about. The project is very informally estimated at this point, given that it's only a little more than, 50-60% designed. The Prouty Plaza overall is in the $1 to $1.5 million range of the total project. The water feature is estimated, again, at a very high level at about $100,000 worth of that projected cost. So, relatively minor amount.
Okay. And as everybody else has had their input, Mayor, do you have any input on Prouty Plaza or your views?
No, I have no further questions.
Anyone else have questions?
I have a comment.
Mrs. Westphal.
Thank you, Mr. President. I want to be clear, I support investing in our downtown and creating spaces that bring people together, but I cannot support the proposed water feature on Prouty Plaza because it lacks transparency, community input, and financial responsibility. The water feature was not introduced until February this year. The proposal begins with $165,000 in design fees alone, and yet we have no complete estimate for construction costs, water usage, or long-term maintenance. This is concerning. In the absence of clear information, I conducted my own research, aside from Mr. Schilling's research, reviewing similar water features in Ohio and the Midwest. Based on these comparisons, a realistic installation cost would range from $225,000 to $375,000. Since this is public works project, prevailing wage is an additional 20 to 35% cost. Increasing that total cost to $270,000 to $505,000. I know you said $100,000, but we don't really know. Because this is a non-recirculating system, it's expected to use 1.5 to 2 million gallons of water each summer, and that was calculated on 4 hours a day in the summer. Current City of Troy water rates, that equates to about $9,000 to $12,000 in annual costs. When you add seasonal maintenance, staffing, repairs, insurance, total annual operating costs could be between $21,000 to $30,000. Yet despite these significant costs, none of this financial information has been provided by the consultants. Now if we provide these design fees, the consultants may or may not come back with estimates before it goes out to bid. I do want to thank the auditor for speaking up about not having any numbers to make these decisions by. And I'm sure we will be told that changes can be made and things can be taken out if the costs are extraordinary. But we will also be told, if approved, that we have already spent the $165,000 for consultants to engineer these designs and changes can no longer be made. Meanwhile, our community continues to express a strong need for safe, playable, flood-free baseball fields that serve hundreds of local kids and families. This is a priority deserving our immediate investment. I would encourage us to focus on real needs. When a community can clearly see their tax money spent responsibly, support will follow. I'm not opposing progress or creativity. I believe we need to get our priorities in order before we spend millions of taxpayers' dollars. Responsible governance is my priority. I would urge my fellow council members to consider this proposal very carefully and allow a third reading to get public input. Thank you.
Mr. Shelley.
Thank you, Mr. President. I too have some comments on the water feature, surprise. As Council considers the approval of the Streetscape project and the addition of Prouty Plaza renovation to the project, one of the main sticking points is whether or not a proposed water feature is necessary for the project. I feel that it is not necessary. Prouty Plaza has survived as an entertainment venue and as a place to stop and relax while visiting the downtown since its inception in the early 90s. The attraction of our downtown is not Prouty Plaza, but the businesses and atmosphere of the downtown that was created over 100 years ago. Very few visit the downtown and just to sit in the plaza and watch the noisy traffic go by. Folks visit Prouty Plaza for the almost year-round entertainment opportunities or as a place to stop and relax while shopping, or to enjoy carry-out food and beverages from the variety of good restaurants in the downtown. Another water feature is not going to be a major attraction to draw people downtown. It's not just me saying this. Many downtown business owners feel that the water feature will not have a measurable positive impact on their business. Cost is another consideration. The Oda administration has been high on the praise of the proposed water feature and light on the details and the cost. All of a sudden, we've got a $100,000 figure. Good. We know that the system is a pump and dump with a brick stone base and 4 to 6 jets. The feature will be in operation less than 3 months a year at Prouty Plaza. Based on the presentation last week, the Oda administration could provide few other details, including no estimate of cost. Our city auditor told us not to go forward with the water feature until we have a better idea of the cost. Our 2026 freshman council person asked the question, why do we need 2 water features in the downtown? Great question. Surveys, while very unscientific, have not been in favor of adding another water feature to the downtown. And what about the water usage and cost? Oxford took a look at converting their closed system to a pump and dump. The estimated 37 million gallons of water usage per year diverted from their water system was a deal breaker. I just received my utility bill today from the city. Last month I used 500 gallons of water. There must be a minimum or something on that. I'm not sure what that is. But anyway, my bill for water delivery and the sewer system needed to dispose of the used water came to $46.63, or about 9.3 cents per gallon. If the proposed water feature uses 1 million gallons a season, the cost of the Troy taxpayers would be over $93,000. Based on the Oxford estimate, the proposed water feature usage of the water might be a little bit more than that. The Oda administration will argue that since the city owns the water distribution system, and the cost will be much less. All I know is that the city charges me an amount for water and sewer usage that will ensure that the city will not go broke providing these services to me. Some argue that Troy residents expect Cadillac quality from every project the city undertakes. And let me emphasize that quality is very important. But from the little we know about the water feature, how can we be assured that we are not getting a Yugo? You guys know what that is? If not, I'll let you know.
Continue.
If council is truly interested in delivering a Cadillac-quality water feature to the residents of Troy, council should plan for a true splash pad located in one of the city parks, away from the dangerous and noisy intersection of three major highway systems. The city residents have been asked to wait for the results of the survey and the completion of the park master plan before the community moves forward with several other suggested park improvements. Why is this dubious park improvement at the top of council's list? After my discussion with residents this spring, I have no doubt that a true splash pad will be under consideration, along with all the benefits and a good understanding of the pitfalls. If council truly wants to help the downtown business owners and downtown building owners, then council should work to make sure that the city development funds are set aside to help the downtown businesses and building owners when exterior or interior improvements are needed. What good is an upgrade to the downtown water system if the building owners cannot afford the sprinkler systems? Can items like elevators help fill the now empty upper floors of some of the downtown buildings? This is how council can help downtown grow and prosper. Another water feature has no chance to make this type of impact. Council should not move forward with this water feature. It is not necessary. It will not make a measurable difference in the success of the downtown, and the downtown business and city residents are not in full support of this measure. So as I ask, later on I'll be asking for amendment to exclude the water feature, and again, I ask council to take this very seriously. If you have doubts about it, that's to me is an indication that we should not consider moving forward on this at this time. You know, just as we can always take it out at some future date, we can always add it if we need to. Thank you.
I have a comment, Mr. Rizzo.
Mr. Seaver.
It's interesting. I unfortunately don't have prepared comments, but I've been able to speak very frequently on a number of different issues. I am for the water feature, and I think if people would go back and look, Civic Capacity did a poll a number of months ago asking where the best place to put a water feature was, and I believe the author at one time, that was either one or two of the best places to put a water feature was downtown. It's interesting how that sort of evaded the discussion now. The second aspect to that is the interesting comments from Mr. Schilling and Mrs. Westfall's perspective is indicative of what we're going to face as council members. Mr. Schilling indicates that he would like to see a big $1 million plus water splash pad at a different location. Mrs. Westfall indicates she would like us to put money towards baseball. The millions of dollars that both of those will take are going to be issues that we're going to have to face. And those are decisions that we're going to have to make that are going to be divisive, because there's people who are very strongly supportive of those and are going to be disappointed if we go one way or the other. Or maybe we spend the money, we put another levy. I was a chairman of a levy with Mr. Lutz that failed. Mr. Phillips has been the chairman of a levy that failed. We're going to have to address recreation if we're going to take it to the level that these two council members have just expressed. In my mind, the downtown water feature is a compromise. It's relatively inexpensive. It's been successful at the Green, Oxford, Disney World has some. So I'm going to move for it to go to a third reading because I do think that that's appropriate and that's been asked for by council members. But I also think that we do need to strongly think about where we want to go, not now, but as chairman of the Finance Committee, when we go to have to divide up money, where do we want to put it? Thank you.
Mr. President.
Yes, ma'am. Mrs. Sneed.
I just want to also clarify that if this item is asking us to approve funding for design work to be done for Prouty Plaza, wouldn't this be the part of the project that would give us more definitive information about the cost of specific features, how they work, for instance, how much water might be used by this type of system as it comes back with a specific design. I think I would rather have Prouty Plaza designed, and if we get that information and someone wants to say that they don't want the water feature, which, as Mr. Sievert does, I can support this limited water feature, then that might be the time to take another look at it.
Anyone else first? Jeff?
Go ahead, Mr.
I would say that I've been hoping for citizens to reach out to me on the topic of the water feature. I have not received much of any word on the water feature. I have purposely went out and asked people I know in Troy, what do you feel about it? This is kind of, I think, where we're at. I'm hearing positives about the water feature from the people I talk to, but I have to go and force them to drag it out. I would wish that more people could reach out if they had a varying opinion on that, but the people I'm talking to are in favor of it, so.
Doing a straw poll, and Mr. Whidden, what he just said, I will echo. I have received 0 phone calls, 0 emails. The publication that Mr. Sievert mentioned has put our information out there on the city website. We all have emails, home phone numbers or cell phone numbers that people can call us, and we've heard, well, I have heard 0, except for folks that I have specifically contacted or run into, and it's been overwhelmingly positive as a minor fountain, water feature, whatever the little thing is that you want to call it, much like the fountain at the courthouse. The difference between the two is that this one would be able to be walked through or sat in or whatever, where the courthouse you can't even dip your toes in. So that's the limited information that I have.
Mrs. Marshall, anything?
Unfortunately, the same thing. Nobody has reached out to me to say yes or no. I've asked around in my neighborhood to see how people feel about it, and I've asked people, and I have friends that live in Carmel, Indiana, where they have quite a few, to see how, how they've, do they like them, and I did receive positive input from a few people that I reached out to that have them in their community there, but I, like the rest of people, I really appreciate it when people reach out to me to give me their opinion, and I haven't. It makes the decision hard when people aren't telling me what they want.
Mr. President, just in the same boat, I've had 2 say yes, 1 say no, so it's what it is. But I would agree with Mrs. Sneed just in the sense of this is for the approval of the design work to get a fuller understanding of what those projects' costs would be, and so I would be willing to pursue that to see what that's going to be. I can go either way on the water feature. I think it will be fine. It's for little things, so I would agree with Mrs. Sneed, though. We're not really going to have additional information until the design company goes and investigates that, so I'd be on that side.
Okay.
I think Mr. Schilling has one more comment.
Got another comment, Jeff?
One other comment to Mr. Twist's comment and Mrs. Sneed's comment again is that, I mean, in my own mind, it's a bad deal no matter what. And I can understand the idea of waiting. Well, let's see what we'll spend the money on the design, and then the argument being, well, we spent the money on the design, we might as well go forward with it. It's just like, where do you stop? Where do you stop? In my mind, we stop it now, because like I say again, I think we want to take a look at. There's a lot of interest in our park system, and I think we need to look at that We have ignored our park system for a long, long time, and now this is as best of an opportunity we may have to take another look at this thing. And, you know, so I say, yeah, you know, you're building, as I say, a Cadillac splash pad is like adding another swimming pool to the city of Troy. You're talking about some very similar expenses, similar problems. But again, you know, we don't know because, you know, I don't know because the surveys aren't done. The master plan's not done. So how do we know? I mean, so, but if people are saying, well, if we're going to get if we have to settle on a splash pad, the only thing we're going to get is this little thing downtown, I think they're going to be sorely disappointed. You know, so it's a matter of, yeah, we can do one or the other, but you know, we can do both. You know, I'm not saying that, but I just think it's. I think if the surveys come back and if the master plan comes back and says, yeah, this is something that council and the city of Troy and the residents want to take a look at as far as a true splash pad, then that's the time to do it. You know, let's take a look at it. And I say, and if everybody decides that's a good idea and they're willing to spend the dime to pay for it, then that's what we want. We want cooperation. We want, as we all say, we want input from the city residents. We want input from you know, everybody on these projects. And it is very difficult to sit here and say, well, you know, without getting out, you know, as I say, I knocked on a lot of doors for this campaign in April and March and April. And that was one of the things we talked about, you know. And you know, like I say, yeah, it's a mixed reaction. I'm not saying everybody was opposed to it. All I'm saying is that you know, by and large, not all the residents are behind this thing. And so, you know, like I say, if we give them you know, but what do they really want? Are they thinking, well, we're going to get this water feature downtown, and that's going to be our splash pad, or you know, is there a splash pad somewhere in the future? Again, I don't know, and like I say, I'm waiting with bated breath to find out. You know what everybody says, but to me, you know, Prouty Plaza is a very small area. Like I say, again, it's been more designed for people to sit at tables, picnic tables, and on benches, and enjoy the good restaurant food that's always available downtown, and place to relax. You know, maybe you're working downtown, and you say, okay, I need to get away from what I'm doing for an hour, and I'm going to go sit at Prouty Plaza and enjoy my lunch. And I mean, that's what it's been used for, and of course, all the entertainment items that we have there. But you know, to try to build a small playground for kids is just, I think it's too much. And so that's why I mean, there's a number of reasons why I oppose for it. So that's basically it. Thank you.
All right. Yes, sir.
It's a water feature, not a splash pad. We have to be clear about that. This isn't people aren't bringing their kids in their swimsuits downtown to the fountain in the middle of the square, right? So it's
Bill, I mean, that's a ridiculous comparison, because we know that the fountain in the middle of the square, as Mr. Titterington
it's not
misdirected us last week,
it's not
that's not an interactive feature. It's there to look at.
And this is a water feature, not a splash pad, and it's a small water feature. I just want to be clear about that.
I will guarantee you the first kid in that water feature is going to splash their foot down on the nozzle. I guarantee you.
I'm not saying that, but it's not created to say this is a splash pad and everybody, the buckets are dumping water on people, and there's a whole water splash pad that's massive. This isn't what it's about. So you guys keep bringing up splash pad. It's not a splash pad. That's all I'm asking. Stop calling it a splash pad. Call it a water feature. Is someone going to walk through the water feature and get wet? Probably. But that's up to them if they want to do that. But I don't like that we're calling it a splash pad, because that's two separate things.
All right.
We're not proposing a splash pad.
Not here.
Not here. It can be somewhere else, but not here. All right.
All right. Moving on. We have citizens' comments on anything that's on our agenda. Come forward, name, address for the record. 2 minutes. Mr. Kerber.
Got it.
All righty.
Ready?
Here we go.
Thank you. Bradley Beringer, Crestwood Drive. And I'm going to talk about O40-2025, or R40-2025 tonight, because we're getting in too damn much of a hurry to do this. It was comment made at the last meeting, last committee meetings last week, that this is going to be a staging area for the entire Streetscape project, which is going to take, what, at least a year, year and a half, 2 years? I don't know. So why in the hell are we arguing about design on Prouty Plaza when it's not even going to be able to be done for at least a year and a half? The time to grow some courage, stop this now, pull it back, pull it out of the Streetscape project is right now, because there's not a consensus on this. And I am going to say this, Mr. Twist. Yeah. The splash pad is not needed. It is a splash pad, no matter what you call it.
Mr. Beringer.
We can sit here and argue semantics all day long. I'm going to say what I'm going to say, Mr.
I know what you're going to say you're saying, but I'm telling you, the rules are you do not address individual council members. Address them as a whole.
But if they're going to say...
Address them as a whole.
If they're going to misdirect
address
that, I'm
them
going to call
as
them out.
a whole.
Then you need to call them out for the misdirection, Mr. Rizal.
Address them as a whole, or sit down.
Then you need to stop the misdirection, Mr. Rizal. It's plain and simple. They're misdirecting this, like I agree with Mr. Schilling. This is gross misdirection. It is a splash pad, no more, no less.
No more, no less. And if we don't know the maintenance costs, and we put this thing in, and it's not what we want, 5 years down the road, we're just going to pay another couple $100,000 to rip the daggone thing out. So the time to do this is right now, while Prouty Plaza is going to be used as a staging area. Let's stop the misdirection, call it what it is, and be done with it. Let's get some courage, shoot this thing down tonight. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Hello, Madison Hickman, 402 Lincoln Avenue. I will speak for those of the third ward since Mr. Pierce is not here this evening. This is definitely something that has been positively spoken about by every family group of people in our neighborhood that I've talked to. Everyone with children has been in favor of this. I personally have not been in favor of it for safety concerns, but that is my personal thing, and I am not to necessarily speak on my person, but to speak for my community. So I do know it has been positively received, and I agree with Mr. Sievert. I do think, depending on how the monies for the recreation and park stuff goes, if we push this to a levy, it will get voted down. I know that is the number one thing that residents talk about, is how high taxes are currently, and adding another levy to that, there's no way I could see it pass, unfortunately. So I do definitely think a small water feature that is safely built into the area, it is handicap accessible. Usually you can just roll right through them. Like I said, I'm personally not in favor of them, but my community is, so I have to speak for them. So I do think that this is something at least that needs to be put into the next phase of the project. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hi guys. My name is Debbie Pike of 412 Ellis Street, Troy, Ohio. I just want some clarification, okay, because I haven't been to the meetings, but, so we want to put a...
Water feature.
Water feature.
What is the difference between a water feature and a splash pad, please?
Size,
Just the size?
basically. Power, length of water.
Cost.
Interactivity, whether it's recirculating, whether you need to have a lifeguard, whether...
Health board coming down every 3 hours or whatever.
Okay. So we're also I heard that we're also wanting to do something with the new swimming pool that we put in, 10 years ago, 20 years ago?
Maintenance. on the swimming pool.
Right, but now you're wanting to put other...
Maintenance on the swimming pool.
Well, the survey.
Maintenance on the swimming?
The survey's got stuff on the pool. What legislation they passed 2 weeks ago was for maintenance.
For maintenance, but then we're going to try to pass for the pool to be added something in there, or the pool's done with, it stays the way it is forever?
Potentially.
Well, until we have more money.
Potentially, yeah, potentially.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so why can't we, we're all into this big park thing. Let's upgrade our parks, let's do this, let's do that. Why not take it out there to the Troy City Park, and upgrade some of that, put that thing out there. I think it would be a better offer for kids to go to a park. I have went down to Huber Heights myself and watched. There's 90% kids running, no parents around. So what's going to happen up here on the square? You're going to have kids coming close to here, no parents.
2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So
Catch
that's
up.
what I was wanting to ask.
Okay. Hopefully, you can come back up and ask questions at the end if you
Oh, okay,
didn't get
because I
further
like to
answer.
have answers, you know.
Yep.
I'm trying to figure this.
We'll try to give them to you.
Thank you.
Your 2 minutes are up right now. Anyone else?
Steve Henderson at 975 Dickerson. In some respects, I don't care. I don't care whether it goes in or not. If it goes in and it's free, everybody's going to go yippee. If we got the engineers working on it, you get 5 engineers, there's going to be a $300,000 water feature. You know it, and I know it. We also know the Romans do this stuff, have fountains. Water comes up, guess what? There's no pumps, there's no solenoids, there's nothing like that. So there's ways of doing this very economically. And if you put too much pressure on the engineers, guess what? They'll spend days and weeks analyzing it till we can't afford it. So everybody's kind of neutral. It's hard to get anything, only because nobody knows how much it's going to cost. The other thing is this is just a part of the entire square. Let's move ahead and get the thing done. Hopefully LBJ has got enough common sense not to design a $300,000 water feature. And then you can make an intelligent decision. Until that time, all we're doing is we're talking. And maybe that's what we do best, but nothing's moving ahead. So let's, like they used to say, is put your egos in your pockets, get some data, and make a decision based on data, not on what we all feel. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Seeing none, we will move on to resolutions. And guess what our only resolution tonight is? Mrs. Knight, would you please read Resolution R 40-2025, please?
Resolution number R 40-2025, resolution authorizing the Director of Public Service and Safety of the City of Troy, Ohio, to enter into an amendment to the Professional Services Agreement with LJB Inc. of Miamisburg, Ohio, for the design of the Downtown Safety and Streetscape Renovation Project to include the Prouty Plaza design and declaring an emergency. This is the second reading.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
hold this over to a third reading, if you would, please.
We can do that. This will go to a third reading, which will be August 2nd, I believe, at our meeting. Moving on. We have vote on, with Janek, your chairman. We will grant chairman's request. Moving on, Mrs. Knight, will you please read ordinance 022-2025, please?
Ordinance number O22-2025, an ordinance changing the zoning of parcels D08-107838, D08-107842, and D08-107844, a total of 86.88 acres in the city of Troy, Ohio, from the Miami County zoning of A2, general agriculture, to a planned development residential, PDR, and approving the general plan of the Eagles Landing Subdivision Plan Development Residential PTR. This land is located on Wilson Road, is a portion of the land known as the ELC LLC and poor annexation. Troy Planning Commission has recommended approval of the plan development and general plan. There will be a public hearing at the next meeting, first reading.
And we will have a public hearing prior to our next meeting, so that will end our legislative business tonight. We have Mr. Scott Barr, Executive Director of Habitat for Humanity, Troy, Ohio, who's here to give us a presentation and update regarding Rock the Block Neighborhood Cleanup Initiative. And me, you, and Susan will probably have to move, or we'll be blinded.
Oh. Okay.
Good evening, Council.
You need it on? Scott,
All right. Is he gonna
Scott.
have a screen coming down?
you gonna have a presentation?
Yeah, there's one queued up.
You're gonna get blasted.
Oh, yes.
Sam's chair. Oh, he's sitting.
Oh, you're gonna sit.
Sam's chair.
Oh.
Yep. I'll just go down. Here, Bill. Bill, just sit there, I'll scoot in. Christie, you move that chair.
Sorry, I thought I moved it enough. I don't know if I can move this.
All right, we'll try it out.
Okay. More. Or sadly than that.
Just use the mouse.
The mouse will do it. All right. Well, good evening, Council. Appreciate the opportunity to come in. As stated before, my name's Scott Barr. I'm the new Executive Director of Habitat for Humanity now for 20 months. During that time, we've completed a lot of growth with the organization. We've completed a $300,000 capital project on our downtown Troy building, completed a marketing refresh in our Troy Restore, opened a new Restore in Sydney, increased our new home construction production from every other year to now annually, with 2 going on in Pickle that started last week, all 3 homes in Miami County. Launched a sponsorship program where volunteers in our hack workshop are building playhouses, picnic tables, and park benches that are being donated in the community, including Community Park and Robinson's Reserve here in Troy. We've relaunched our home repair program with 17 home repairs in 2024, 13 in 2025. That leads us into the launch of bringing Habitat Rock the Block to Troy, Ohio. This was our inaugural city to go ahead and launch this in our 2-county territory, and it was very successful. We'll get this into display mode, even though I can barely see that from here. There we go. All right, so Habitat Rock the Block is a national initiative of Habitat for Humanity International. It's something that when I was being recruited to come down here and take over the position, it was one of the things I wanted to add. We completed it. It's my understanding each of you was provided the infograph and paper copy ahead of time. On May 5th through May 9th, we ended up doing a 1-week initiative that took a few months of planning ahead of time. We had 4 primary sponsors. If you look at the bottom of the infograph, your funding sponsors were the Troy Foundation, Edison State, Denlinger and Sons, and the Western Ohio Home Builders Association. Our leadership team was 7 of those organizations at the bottom there. So in 1 week, we had 7 planning organizations working collaboratively to go ahead and bring Rock the Block to this community in Troy. We had 24 volunteer companies or organizations that left the workforce and joined us that week to come out and make a difference in one of your neighborhoods. Doing so, they provided 177 unique, unduplicated volunteers, providing during that week 1,575 hours of volunteer time. We impacted 10 properties that were owner-occupied in that neighborhood, as emphasized by Austin and his team. We started with a budget of around $17.5, and the value of impact back to the community invested that week was just shy of $100,000. So this was provided ahead of time, so we're going to go through pretty quickly, but I will share with you that as the homes were identified, and we'll talk about that process at the end, we did 2 homes that had siding, rotted wood repair, deck repair, door replacement, storm door replacement, trash removal, yard waste removal. Mulching, I believe 7 of the 10 houses received mulching. Yard cleanup, it was pretty comprehensive depending on the home that was identified. This is one of the more significant homes that had work. This is one of the 2 that had siding. And one of the benefits that a Habitat brings to the community is we leverage the resources and connections with Habitat for Humanity International. So I have access through Cornerstone Brands and Plygem to 5 homes of siding and 5 homes of windows, absolutely free, that we can bring into our 2 counties. This was not being done before. We leveraged it during Rock the Block to test the process, the ordering, the delivery, and it was not only extremely successful, but the 2 homes up in Piqua are homes 3 and 4. So we are definitely using this going forward. This home particularly here was a complete redo from the outside. You can see front and before and afters there. Another home, we did a ton of power washing. This would have been an example of power washing. The front porch got a repair that was missing a section. The deck was redone and surfaced. There's a front view that's actually quite significant there on the front of that property. The garage was actually out of compliance in a few areas. We leveled the garage door, power washing, removed the overgrowth that was going into the alley, gutter work there as well. This property here, although not as drastic from the front, had a significant amount of debris and trash and overgrowth in the side property. We did do fence repair in the alley. You can see the mulch in the front right there. But that brick patio was actually non-visible. You did not know there was a brick there. So we ended up taking all the growth, the debris, all the mulch in the back that we added, had a lot of waste back there as well. This home ended up getting some rotted wood in the front panel. The storm door there is new. The front door inside of it's new. There's another storm door and a front door as well on this house. This house actually was identified more from the garage, but we did do some wood and painting around the windows on the front in the wood area. Unfortunately, I don't have before photos of the garage, but you had a hole in the roof. You had fascia that needed to be replaced. The entire garage was painted twice. This house, power washed, I think it had 7 yards of mulch, significant debris. The fence was falling down. We replaced the fence and the gate in the front. The side shorter fence as you're driving down. It also received 2 handrails. There's a better view on the left of the small roof. But if you look at that bottom right, that was 2 playhouses, overgrowth, a lot of vines, and so that completely got cleared out. And there's a little close-up of some landscaping and the rails. This was a power wash. We actually, if you look at the front wall, the retaining wall, it got sealed, as did the deck. The poles were removed and you had posts added. I believe that we took 1-ton truck of firewood that had sat so long it was rotted away from the shed on the left. We repainted the shed on the back and did landscaping there. I will tell you of the homeowners, predominantly they were fixed income seniors, different education levels. You can see from the handwriting of this individual with his response that very appreciative of the work that was being done, but you can see some of the, the style there. This garage either had a carport or an additional side building, side garage attached to it that was removed. You had rotted wood, you had the gutters, fascia, all out of disrepair. You can see some of the siding we brought in from one of the 2 houses. We had extra siding. We ended up siding that in, new gutters, new fascia, and there's your alley view. More was done on the side of this property in the back, but we did do landscaping all the way around. If you take a look at that top left view, it gives you a really good idea of the condition before we got involved. Not only did we redo the deck and the rails, we found that posts underneath were rotted, so we ended up having to reinforce that. The garage was identified because of a significant amount of overgrowth into the alley and around the lines. You can see there's practically no growth left. The garage itself got painted a couple coats and touched up as well. This home right here is probably your most significant, separate from maybe number 1, and this is because it got the siding job. So you have a house that had complete siding, new storm door, painted the front door. This property, if you look at the back, You can actually see the brick pavers that you would not have known was there. You can actually see around the outbuilding in the back that had significant overgrowth. We actually had 5 companies at one time, over 20-some people working on Thursday on this house, and we had so much yard debris that was out in the street, and we kept it 1 parking space width. But the police department, stopped in and said, are you guys supposed to be putting it this far out here? And I said, well, that was Austin's instructions. But we probably had about 8 to 9 trucks removed of yard right here in this one house. So, one of the reasons I'm here not only is to kind of share the impact of the inaugural one, but also to say thank you. I think you need to understand the importance that the city of Troy played in making this successful. Austin and his team were fantastic. They were a part of the leadership on our planning team. I've shared with the other communities, because we're going to be doing this in Troy again next year, but we're also doing this in the city of Sydney and working with Andrew Bowser up there, that there's 2 beneficiaries to a Rock the Block. The first beneficiary is always the city. The second one is the individual homeowner that benefits from that. Clearly, we had neighbors out in that neighborhood that we weren't working on that started cutting their bushes and doing the trim and doing the touch-up. The ripple effect always happens, and it happened in that neighborhood. But Austin and his team, they identified the neighborhood, gave us 4 different options to look at. We wanted to identify home ownership. That's the most important thing for us, is that we're investing in people that own their home. Significantly, we're fixed income seniors. This is an older neighborhood, as you guys well know, close to 100 years for some of those homes, and we actually had a 97-year-old homeowner that was in that neighborhood, and obviously her ability to do lawn care is limited. But Austin and his team helped us identify the properties. They provided us the public information to be able to do the contact. The city of Troy was not the letterhead we used to go ahead and say, your house has been identified for work, as you could only imagine. So Habitat took the role of saying, this is what Rock the Block is. These are the organizations working together. There will be no cost to you. If you're physically able, we'd like you to join us. If you're not, feel free to provide water, Gatorade, thank the volunteers when they're out there. So we went ahead and did that. Austin and his team were involved with the logistics. By the end of the week, we had over 21 one-ton trucks removing either yard waste or actual trash out of that neighborhood in just 1 week, 21 trucks. City of Troy did that. We identified 2 properties that we knew we didn't want to move the trash to the street and then move it again. So we were like, get the trucks in there. We're going to do this one time. Let's go get it, load it in. And again, they were fantastic to deal with. You guys provided the mobile restrooms for the week, which our volunteers very much appreciated. And the city of Troy actually had a volunteer team on Tuesday and helped on one of the properties. So you were actually involved in that process. This was overly successful for the very first time. If you can only imagine the logistics of what was completed on day 1, because none of these were one-day projects. So you're coordinating, what did we complete, what are the supplies, getting the supplies out ahead of time. So this was pretty intensive project. And overall, the team that we worked with, Troy Community Works, the Troy Chamber, the MLK Planning Committee, Troy Foundation, City of Troy, and the Homeowners Builders Association worked very well together in planning this to the point where it's already on the radar for next year. We are holding the date. It is going to be May 4 through May 8 next year. So again, a great opportunity for us to impact a neighborhood, bring a lot of people together to get that accomplished. And again, I want to say thank you to the City of Troy for the partnership and excellent leadership that Austin and his team provided. So with that, I'll open it up to any questions. All right. I appreciate the opportunity to come in and share. City of Troy is actually putting $25,000 into the budget for Rock the Block for fall. It's already in and connected. So anybody on a committee that wants to go ahead and provide funding is more than able to. You guys have a great evening. Take care.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, it won't be the first time you're notified of being in the dark.
Mr. Titterton, is there a way we could maybe coordinate our large trash or relaxed rules pickup for that week next year, maybe perhaps, or something we could look at that?
Maybe too much.
We do a spring cleanup, are you saying?
Yeah, about, it's
We
about
do
that
that,
time.
yeah.
It's about that same time
Yeah.
already.
It's usually April, but we'll see how that works.
Are you saying you want it the same week?
No, he wants to do it again
No.
on the Rock the Block.
I guess I was saying, coordinate it with it, so there's that ripple effect where people want to do work. I don't know, I'll let you guys look into it, but it was a nice idea.
It's a little later than we
Jeffrey, I agree with you. So I actually worked Rock the Block. I was on site, I don't even know how much, but I would agree with Jeffrey being out there and then just seeing people, like neighbors that would come out and start working on things. So I think, if I understand what you're saying, is like the ripple effect, people are starting to push their yard waste or their trash or whatever it may be. So maybe either like right after Rock the Block, like the week after, or sometime in that week. I think I would agree, that would be a great idea.
And we put, do you have anything? You're just moving, Grant? You didn't have anything?
No, I don't have anything for you, no.
So maybe if we just publicize it better and
I
more?
think it's fairly publicized. I
Yeah.
was just trying to
Yeah.
coordinate it with that particular week.
Yep, okay. They will look into it. Communication announcements. Mrs. Knight, do we have anything?
No, sir.
Mr. Titterington, Mayor?
Just two things. Number one, I wanted to clarify, and Patrick, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I've been on council since 2012. Design always follows a discussion of what we think we want to do or what's going to happen. And then you have to design a project. It goes out, and we have to go to bid for design. Then we find out how much everything costs. You have a general discussion about what you want. You go to design and you find out exactly how much it costs. So there's nothing with Prouty Plaza or any of this is out of line. It is how it works in every department across the city. It goes to concept first, then it goes to design before it goes to construction. We're following the same process, just to clarify that. The other thing is that we will be welcoming a Takahashi delegation on Monday evening. We're welcoming about 12 students, and they will be accompanied by a teacher, the principal, and a city staffer from Takahashi. And so we're going to be excited to have them here next week. The host families are very excited to meet the student that will be staying with them. We'll be picking them up at the airport Monday evening, and you'll be hearing more about that, but just so that you're aware, a week from today, we will be welcoming Takahashi.
Then there's a dinner on the 2nd of August.
The farewell dinner,
Oh, it is.
yes. And that's it.
Mr. Titterton?
And we do want to thank the county transit for helping us with some of the larger transport that we have, since we're dealing with 12 students, staff, and luggage. The only other thing is to remind everybody that as we've talked about at length, the Park and Recreation Master Plan, the survey, is still open. It's open for at least another day. Closes on Wednesday. So that's your opportunity. And that is all I have. Thank you.
Director of Law, Mr. Cover.
Mr. President, I don't have anything to add this evening. Thank you.
We will go around. We'll start with Mr. Twist.
Nothing to add this evening.
Mr. Phillips.
Nothing this evening. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Schilling.
I think we're done for the evening.
Mr. Wood.
Well, I'm glad, no, I'm kidding.
Mrs. Marshall.
I have nothing.
Mrs. Westfall.
I'm good too.
Mrs. Snead.
No, I have no comments.
Mr. Seaver.
I won't upset the apple cart, but I do appreciate everybody's comments, and it's good to see democracy at work, and I'm glad to hear Ms. Hickman's approach to how to govern.
Okay, just quick things. I know Jill's not here, but pass along to Jill. Thank you for the quick response on the sinkhole on Clarendon cul-de-sac. Compliments go to Mrs. Marshall. Even though she's not receiving or had glitches in her email, she did go out to the gents to respond to their question, as well as Mr. Sievert did, I think by email. As Patrick said, the survey's open till Wednesday. Have your say. What's the status of the black utility poles?
They are on order. We do not have a delivery date yet. We'll double check that, but
Okay.
It is a long lead time.
City picnic is August 2nd for all the departments. Not 2nd, August 6th for everybody. So come work or enjoy eating if you can. And the only kind of downer that's kind of expressed by most of these council people tonight it is kind of disappointing that the public does not express their view in the majority. I mean, certain people will, but you'll go on social media or you go on Facebook. Contact your council people. They're the ones that represent you. It's not on everything. I mean, but major stuff, have your input. That's the only way you're going to get heard, unfortunately. So, encourage you to do that. Other than that, we are done, and we will see you on August 2nd. Oops.
Community.
I'm
Sure.
sorry. You guys want to come back up again? Steve, you want to come up and ask more questions? Mr. Davis does, all right. Auditor's not here tonight.
Chris Davis, 412 Ellis Street.
Chris Davis, 412 Ellis Street.
Yes, sir.
Barn, I'd like everybody up here. Hey, if you guys want people to come, maybe have an open, town hall. Invite your constituents to that, or reach out to them. I mean, I'm active, yeah, everybody knows that, but a lot of people don't think about it. I didn't find out about this water feature until you guys started talking about it, and I'm on every website. So, I mean, not everybody knows what's going on. As far as I'm concerned, I'm not buying anything unless I know what it's going to cost me. So, I appreciate the two that actually wanted to find that out. But, if you guys really want to talk to people, maybe have a town hall instead of just the one at-large meeting we have once every few months. Just a thought. Have a good day.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Once again, Bradley Banger, 105 Crestwood Drive. Guys, the reason you don't get a lot of response from people is because the perception is out there that no matter what people say to you, you're going to go ahead and do the opposite. I'm sorry, that's just the perception that's out there. And like Mr. Davis said, if you want to change that perception, you need to get out of the ivory tower, and I know that some of you do this. Get out into the public, meet your constituents. The only people that have any meetings, town hall meetings, are the at-large constituents, and they are very well attended, and they answer the questions. So I thank them for that. The other 6 of you sitting up here I think you need to do the same thing. Get out in your wards, listen to your people, and I think you might find out that the general perception isn't what you think it is. Now, Mr. Rizzo, with your permission, I'd like to ask a question to Mr. Sievert. May I do that, sir?
You can ask the question in general.
Okay. Well, it's directed to something that Mr. Sievert said. So I want to
ask the question without directing it to
Okay,
him.
very good. Thank you, sir. I'm wondering if any of you have been on Facebook recently to see some of the polls that Bill Lutz did regarding some of these Prouty Plaza work. Now, it was said that there was a survey done that says a lot of people were in favor of it, but I can tell you, having read and participated in a couple of these surveys, they've gone completely the other way. Are they scientific? No. But at least we're getting the general sense of the public saying that this is
Public
not
saying
something.
that this is not something that is wanted. Facebook isn't always accurate, but I think social media is beginning to be the voice of the people, unfortunately. And sometimes you just have to pay attention to it, whether you like it or not. That's all I've got. Thank you.
Anyone else? Deb Pike. Sorry to make you come back up, but
Pardon me?
sorry to make you
Pardon
come
me?
back up. Sorry to make you come back up, but
Oh,
continue,
that's okay.
continue your questions.
No problem. Yeah, I was just wondering, if we put this water thing downtown, would that get rid of the concerts?
No,
No?
it can be shut off.
It could be shut off? Okay. Number two is, well, how do I say this? I don't understand about spending money, okay? I need someone to tell this lady a little bit here. You guys want to do a project. He has a limit of what he can spend, correct?
He's got a limit.
Of what he can spend without the council's?
Well, it's statutorily approved. If he goes over that limit, he has to come to council for
Then
approval.
it has to come to council, and you guys approve it or you don't approve it, correct?
Correct.
Then what happens when you approve that and it goes over your budgets? Does that money still come from us, the citizens?
I'll let
You
Mr.
know, all
Tucci-
that money's coming from us citizens, but we're not getting to be able to ask questions or approve or disapprove. I feel that it's our money, everybody's. And if we don't approve on a project, we should be able to vote on it. Because I thought that's how we settled things, was voting on it. Just not one person or two people or three to tell everybody, hey, we're going to spend millions of dollars and there ain't nothing you can do about it.
We'll
So
get-
see, that's what I need to know, sir.
So what gets approved is approved by council. Okay, if it goes over what he can go through the procedures quicker and faster than I can. If it would get to where it would exceed what he's requested, he comes back again and asks for more. They, once again, say yes or no.
Okay. So what does the citizens, what can we as a citizen, can show, you know, that I'm not accepting this, you know,
Well-
$1 million thing or this and that?
This may be a bad example, but
That's fine.
we've had stuff referendum before. Dora was referendum. It wasn't really spending money for a particular project, but a group of citizens didn't like what council decided. So you go through those procedures and you can,
So we can get it put on the voting thing?
based on
Sort of.
timing and if you get all your signatures,
Right.
you should be able to.
Well, East
Bill,
End's
can
pretty
I-
big.
Yes,
chime in
ma'am.
a little bit?
Yes, please.
So Deb, what happens is that you vote for your council members, and they do the homework, they go to the meetings, and they are the ones making the decisions. We cannot send everything to the citizens for a vote. So what the citizens do is vote for their council members, and those council members go to the meetings, read the documents, and that's how you participate. Now, you can contact your council members.
Okay.
But we will not be going to a vote from the citizens on every issue.
Oh, I understand that, but
Okay.
like, you know, if it's coming out of our money, everybody's, then shouldn't we contact our lady?
Your
Yeah,
that's what they're
council
saying.
people.
Please contact
Council
them.
person, and then they're to bring it across the floor. Is that correct?
Yes, you express your views to her, and everybody's got at least 4 people they can express their views to, because you have the 3 at-large ones. Now, you still may be in the minority when things get done, but you've expressed your views. So they're
Correct.
not gonna keep everybody happy 100%, they're gonna try to keep everybody happy 99.9% of the time.
Can I say something?
Mrs. Wessel has comments.
And coming to the meetings
Yes.
and using your own voice is so important. I think that's the biggest one.
Can I say something? Are you done?
You don't like to see me watching.
Ms. Pike, I would direct, and maybe you're aware of this or not, and I don't know.
I'm
but
not.
If you go back on February 20, I just looked it up, February 24th of 2025, there was a 1 hour and 21-minute meeting about all of this that occurred. So if you, and actually I was stuck in,
I'll go back.
I was stuck in Atlanta airport 2 weeks ago and watched the entire 1 hour and 21 minutes. So it's very informative. Subsequently, there's been a number of building, streets, and sidewalk meetings. I don't know exactly when they occurred. I know that if you go to the YouTube channel, or I guess it's Streets and Sidewalk is the term of your committee now, and it. So if you check out some of the Streets and Sidewalks committee, there was an hour-and-a-half meeting on 7/1, or that can't be right, 7/14. So both of those meetings would probably be enlightening if you weren't present to watch what was going on, and I think they would be informative for you to look into what's going on. And to your point, I agree. It's, the problem you have is, and Mr. Behringer sort of said something that kind of enlightened this, which is you might hear different opinions, which I think everybody would want, but you don't want the one side to have a chilling effect on the other. And I think that's sometimes what happens on Facebook, especially with anonymity and people saying things that then other people feel uncomfortable responding because they don't want the backlash. So I think...
Yeah, amen there.
Yeah. So I think it is important to have the meetings like we do at that large, and we appreciate everybody coming to those.
I'd love to have more of those.
And I know, like Mr. Phillips said, we are readily accessible. I think every mean of communication is available to contact your council member or your at-large council members, or just send something to the city.
And if the council member don't get back, can we have the right to just contact anyone or the president?
Well, yeah, you can contact anybody anyway, but I mean,
Oh, okay.
Madison's going to be your rep.
Right.
I would start there, because she's going to be sitting somewhere up here, and she'll go, hey,
I got it.
just as she did tonight.
Yeah, because she's always answered my question.
And by the way, congratulations, that was perfect. Because that's a difficult decision, yours or the people you're supporting. So she did excellent tonight. I mean, she's expressed that for the feature, she was personally not too gung-ho, but the people she's talked to, or the people that have talked to her,
Yeah.
are for it. So she has an obligation to me, my view, she has an obligation to take both her opinion and who she represents, and hopefully find a good solution.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Now we can go to August 2nd, 4th. I'll get the dates right one of these days. Saturday's the 2nd, Monday's the 4th, Wednesday's the picnic. We're out of here.